G'day guys, and welcome back to RestoHub. In this episode we're grafting this piece onto my XT Falcon. Stick around. So from factory the XT Falcon doesn't come with boosted brakes, but I have actually installed it on this model. I have had a bracket fabricated that does bolt a booster on there, but the problem we've got is this standard cutout here doesn't allow the booster to fit properly and it fouls. So I'm going to be fitting up another piece in place of that from a later model Falcon, and that should allow the booster to fit without any issues. So as you saw in the engine bay of the XT, this part here was missing and all we had was the line across. So this is what you need for the clearance for the XY booster, otherwise it'll be fouling. I did pick this up as a cut, so you know there was bits of panel all the way around, and as you can see I have drilled out all these spot welds and separated this from all the excess metal that I didn't need. So I will take out this panel from my XT now, and we'll also get this ready for the next step. So paint strip and cleaning up some of the surface rust, and I might even weld up some of these holes that I've drilled to remove the spot welds. I'll leave most of them, but if it's on the edge I'll definitely clean that up. Alright, time to clean this piece up. Step 1, paint strip, and you've already seen me do that quite a few times, so I won't bore you with the details, but if you haven't, I'll leave a link in the top corner to show you my full process. Alright, stick around for a time lapse. Okay, welcome back. As you can see, paint's been stripped off. It's pretty clean. There's some bits of surface rust now which I'm going to deal with, and I use deoxit product. You can dilute it, but I'm going to just use it straight up because I'm not doing such a big area. So I'll give it a quick clean up with deoxit and let's see how she turns out. As you can see, it's been paint stripped. There's still a couple of remnants here and there, but it's pretty clean. I did start attacking that surface rust with deoxit, as you saw. It's going to take a few, repeat efforts, but should make this thing come up pretty good. For those that remember, just go back to the floor pans, and this will basically be replicated to that sort of cleanliness. So yeah, it's not ready to weld on yet by any means, but it's 90% closer than it was before. So let's get back into the XT now and pull off the panel in the engine bay and get this thing ready to go. Alright guys, as we called out in the last episode, I am going to pick a random comment to win a t-shirt. So good old pickawinner.co. I have the link ready to go. I'll just paste it in there. And let's go. So if I draw myself, I'll go ahead and select another comment, but let's see who wins this. Brendan Fraser 8750. Thanks for your amazing comment, mate, and yeah, please reach out. My email is rob@restohub.au. I'll pop it in the video here, but I'll also respond to your original comment. So I got ahead of myself and removed this section without recording. It is what it is. You guys didn't get to see it, unfortunately, but job is done after many hours of mucking around with spot welds and really tight areas. What I'm going to do now is actually weld up where the spot welds were cut out. There is a bit of a crater on all of those areas, so I'll re-weld those, clean it all up, and then look to doing a final clean up on that piece that's going in, prep it up and weld it in. But I'll show you what it looks like with the piece in there, and you'll see how it fits. So here we have the piece from the XY fitted in roughly. As you can see, it fits nice. Looks like it was supposed to be there. Quite a bit of work ahead of me. I need to fix up a few of those holes up there from the spot welds that I drilled out. But I don't think I'm going to spend too much time prepping that piece, given it already was done a while ago. That should be a quick clean up, weld in, and just reprime. So that's where we're at. Stick around and we'll start getting the body cleaned up and ready to get this thing welded in. Alright, see you soon. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is weld up all these divots that are left from drilling out the spot welds. There's a couple of little bits of weld here that I need to clean up, and then up there, same thing. So basically anywhere that there was a spot weld drilled out, I just need to address that and then get this thing grinded clean, and from there I'll start preparing the piece to go in. So a bit of welding and grinding, looking pretty good. A couple of small little pinholes, they don't go all the way through, so I might just leave them. They're going to be covered up. The panel comes up to around here somewhere, so I'm not going to worry about, you know, anything that doesn't look perfect. The risk around constantly welding and grinding, you're just making the base metal thin, and I don't want to do that. So, you know, I'll make sure that there's no holes that go all the way through, and if not, I think I'll probably call it done, unless there's an area that really needs it. So maybe, you know, that one there, and possibly around there. So what's left now is effectively repeating what I've done here, but along here, down there, and just do a final clean up and get it ready for the next steps, which are, you know, welding the panel in. There is a mark from the cut-off wheel there that I accidentally just clipped the metal. I believe this is covered by the guard, or the guard maybe comes to around here, so I'm just going to lightly fill that and just dress it and make it as clean as I can. But look, I won't you know, bore you guys and pop you on another time lapse watching me weld and grind. You've already seen me do that. So what I'll do is I'll get all this sorted out, and we'll come back once we're getting ready to do the final prep. So I'm just about stopping for today, but I thought I'd actually just fit this up and put the bracket I had made up for the booster, and then put the booster in and see how it all looks. But it's looking really good, and of course it needs to be painted, but really happy with how it's coming together. So what I might do is just pop the booster on now to make sure the clearance I need is there, and have a look how it sits, and if all looks good, I'll then get ready to weld it in. So yeah, let's see how we go. Alright, I got the booster bolted in by just a couple of nuts, and as you can see, that's where it sits. That's why I need to get this panel. It's still very tight down there, but once I, you know, move this panel around when I'm welding it up, I should get the good amount of clearance. As you can see, there's about 5 mil there. There, this is why I'm doing this. Massive job, but definitely worth it to have the boosted brakes from the XY. Alright, I'm going to leave it here for the day, and we'll come back tomorrow and pick it up. Alright, new day, and I've been going flat out today. Did a bit of welding and grinding. Cleaned up most of in there, just getting it ready for welding. And of course up in there. So what I've effectively done is welded up all the drill holes and grinded them back. There still is a bit more grinding to go, but you know, it's not visible, so might just leave it. I don't want to go too crazy with the grinder and grind the base metal too thin. I've also spent a bit of time cleaning up the panel that's going in there. As you can see, it's fairly clean. Still a few spots that need to be cleaned up, but it's coming up really nice. Been a bit busy off camera, welding up all the little pinholes here and there, and I also started giving it a treatment with deoxit, which is a rust converter. So there was a bit of surface rust under the old panel, and I've just started cleaning it up. Still have a bit more to do around there, and once that's done, I can then give it all a sand up and put it in copper weld through primer and get it ready for welding in that panel in. Alright, stick around, I'll pop a time lapse on and you can see how I cleaned up this section here. been spending a bit of time cleaning this area here. It still does have a bit of surface rust I need to work through, but as you can see, this is all good now, ready to go. I've also spent a bit of time cleaning up this panel. As you can see, there's not much left to go on this. A couple little bits of surface rust here and there, but I think, you know, overall it's looking very good. And what I might do is I'll just pop this in, show you how it looks. And here we are. Sits pretty nice. When I weld this in, I know I've got to sort of push it back a little bit so I can get the good clearance to the booster. But yeah, we're just about ready to weld this in. A few small jobs before I do that. As I called out before, just some minor surface rust I need to deal with. And then of course, just sand any epoxy clear of this panel. And then I can spray some copper weld through primer in that flange. And then of course, get it welded in. But I think what we'll do is we'll leave it for this episode, and in the next one we'll pick this up and have this all welded in and probably even primed in epoxy primer. With that said, I'm just going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Otherwise, see you on the next one.